What is up, YouTube? Bobbles and Ball Cards back with another video. Hope you're all having a wonderful day out there. Hope your week has been going well and that it has been a glorious Tuesday. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below, let me know your thoughts. And as always, subscribe if you have not done so and turn on that little notification bell. I want to shout out to Dustin, Sports Card Dad, aka Personal Finance Dad. He did this video yesterday, why speculate on new card products or players, and he was kind of talking about risk involved and that sort of thing when people are spending so much money on new like Prism and that sort of thing. And it actually, I messaged him last night, but I didn't get to talk to him. I seen he responded back to me today, but it brought up something, a story that I wanted to share when I did the Chantilly Show video. And it was something I found. If you guys watched that video, you remember I showed an O-Pee-Chee Brett Hall and a Emmitt Smith Gallery of Heroes card. And I mentioned that the dealer had like a couple boxes there that had some really nice stuff in it that was priced, pretty good and everything. And I talked about he had Brady Chromes and stuff. Well, he had a couple cards in the box that when I came across them, I actually started laughing, and me and the guy had a discussion about it. And it was from 2007 National Treasures, and it was 2 RPAs. And I was just like, holy cow. This is like walking down memory lane, remembering, how much talk was about this guy. And he had the cards priced at $50 and nobody was touching them. And it's most likely because those cards sell for roughly 20, maybe 25 bucks. And it's not a player that like anybody's really going. I had a discussion with my buddy JJ, and he's like, yeah, if the guy was in his collegiate uniform, he might have had, this more sustainable value. And it's true. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, it was Brady Quinn, 2007 National Treasures Brady Quinn RPA. The guy had 2 of them, and the school he went to was Notre Dame. So, this got me thinking, and I was talking with the dealer. I was like, dude, you should almost like put these in your display case with just a note, just kind of like use them as an example and just kind of tell people, hey, this could be you. And it's true. I spoke on it in the video like last week, the one I did with JD, that I would have to go on record to say the next like big thing, and what I've kind of seen personally, or what it looks like to me personally, is folks have, basketball was the market that kind of drove the hobby financially. It kind of was what people used to flip, and that was that kind of section there. Basketball was where you made your money in sports cards, and football trickled in a little bit, but it almost seems like more folks have shifted out of the ultra modern basketball and are now playing more of a fantasy football style with ultra modern football and the quarterbacks. Now, what I did here is, we can never predict the future, but we can always look at the past. And so I went back to this 2007 draft class. Also thought it was a good indicator. It's 15 years ago. And I typed in this spreadsheet here to give a picture of all of the quarterbacks that have been drafted over the past 15 years in the first 2 rounds of the NFL draft. And that's what you see here. You have starting in 07, 08, 9, 10, 11, and so forth. You kind of see here, this sector right here is like where people are targeting a lot of the players today. You're seeing a lot of talk about Herbert, Burrow, Josh Allen. Baker Mayfield was a talk last year, but he didn't pan out. Obviously, Mahomes. People were buying Watson, speculating whether or not he was going to come back to play. But further back, you don't really hear anything about any of these guys, you know. And so these draft classes were pretty good. You know, Murray, he's kind of like been a good quarterback, but he hasn't been the most liked. People were very high on Daniel Jones for a while. Dwayne Haskins was supposed to be Washington's savior. Jordan Love was supposed to come in and take Aaron Rodgers' place. You know, you got Tua down in Miami with Tyreek now. And then you have the 2021 class here with T-Law, Wilson, Lance, Mack, Justin Fields, Trask to be Brady's successor, right? But the thing that this actually pushes a bit more, because what I've mentioned, if you just look from here, right? So Deshaun is AFC, Mahomes is AFC, Baker Mayfield AFC, Josh Allen AFC, Lamar Jackson AFC, and I'm not even going with any of these other dudes. I'm talking about the names you hear. Let's see, Burrow AFC, Tua AFC, Herbert AFC, T-Law AFC, Wilson AFC, Mac Jones AFC. So you get the picture. Toss in a little bit of Russell Wilson, Derek Carr back here. Where's he at? Derek Carr. You have a loaded AFC crop of quarterbacks. And what this represents here, the guys in yellow are the quarterbacks that have started a Super Bowl. They've made the Super Bowl, and they've been a starting quarterback in the Super Bowl. The guys in green are the ones who have actually won a Super Bowl. And this is 15 years worth of first and second round draft picks at the quarterback position in the NFL. You had Mahomes win a couple years ago. Joe Flacco won back, 10 years ago now, I guess it has been. Flacco, you could say he had the defense. I mean, the Ravens' defense was stout with Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Terrell Suggs, so forth. Flacco also had a very good offense that year to back him up. Obviously, with Anquan Bolden, Torrey Smith, Jacoby Jones, and Ray Rice in the backfield. Matt Stafford, obviously we all know he is the most recent Super Bowl winner, but he was drafted all the way back here in 2009, and he just finally won a Super Bowl. You go back and look at history, it took Peyton Manning a while to win, and he only won a couple. Drew Brees, there's great quarterbacks over the course of history. And when you really look at the names of guys that are going to be to the Hall of Fame, with Rodgers, Brees, obviously Brady, that sort of thing, Brady is the only one that stands out to really be different. He has the 7 rings. He has, 9 Super Bowl appearances, I believe. He stands out as different. He has more rings than any single individual franchise does. That's something that you're not going to see again, most likely. I don't see anyone ever repeating the success that he had. And then you look at the fact that for the longest time, until the boom happened, Brady rookie prices were really, really cheap. Like, laughable cheap. And all of a sudden it was like, oh, well, the card market's picking up. Maybe he's a good buy. He's a GOAT, right? He's a GOAT. We need to pick him up. Why on earth is it a constant thought process to toss out thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars for these guys that have not accomplished anything, but yet folks were not doing that for Tom Brady rookie cards? It's just something that baffles my mind. And I'm not saying that Joe Burrow won't be successful or Justin Herbert won't be successful, But when you look at the history, and it's right here in front of you, these are your top, first, second round draft picks over the course of the last 15 years. There was 61 quarterbacks drafted in the first 2 rounds of the last 15 years. 8 of those 61 quarterbacks have started a Super Bowl. 3 have won a Super Bowl. I also looked, so nobody says, well, that's because Brady was winning them all, blah, blah, blah. There were 19 different quarterbacks that started Super Bowls over the past 15 years. You had Peyton do a few. Brady had his. Manning had a couple. Eli. So overall, there was 19 different starting quarterbacks in the Super Bowls across the past 15 years. It's really something to think about. I hope folks understand. I don't know if this is just like the gamble side, the flip side, the hot name of the flavor of the week, whatever. But again, we can't predict the future, but we can look at history. People love looking at historical data, seeing patterns, and that sort of thing. And if history is to show anything, it's not smart. You look, 15 years, top 2 rounds, and only 3 have won a Super Bowl. It's kind of crazy to think about. So, anyway, just something, when I seen that Brady Quinn at the dealer's table, it really was like, holy crap, there's people that in 15 years are going to be sitting with some of these guys that they spent thousands of dollars on, and they're going to look back, and some of these guys are going to be the Brady Quinn of 2007, the Jamarcus Russell, the Sam Bradfords, the Andrew Lucks, Ryan Tannehill, Johnny Manziel. He was another name. There's guys in here that had okay careers, but they never had the success level that people are paying for what these guys should be doing based upon what people paid for the success of Tom Brady. So, just the thought I had, wanted to share. Let me know your thoughts. Comment below. Are you buying in? Are you one that likes to buy in on the new name quarterbacks? Do you feel Josh Allen is going to be the up-and-coming next thing for Tom Brady? Maybe you're targeting an NFC guy because you've realized how stacked the AFC are, which would not be a bad idea, to be honest with you. But just throwing that out there. But just be careful, guys. This shows how dangerous it is buying into first, second round quarterbacks. There's many names on this list that don't even exist anymore in the NFL. So that's all I got for you guys today. Hope you enjoyed this. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, and until the next video, I'm out.